Candidates running for the Lloydminster by-election have the opportunity to speak to the public at an all-candidates forum. Our Callan Dunlop has a recap of the event.
The forum allowed for the public to submit their questions and get to know more about the new potential city councillor. Some of the candidates came forward with their own ideas and thoughts for the city.
We need to have a vibrant airport that has scheduled services that come in and out of the city, so that they can go to their meetings, they can go on their vacations, they can think of Lloydminster as a hub that they can travel from. The other one is the hospital. You talk to the doctors and people and professionals in this town, and they say we need a new hospital. The hospital we have is old and is a danger. So I think those are two options. One's a local one, one's a provincial one, and I think those are two of the main things that we need to really look at for the city.
I still go back to my suggestion that we should have a public relation person to identify the problem and needs of the community, do the study, do the cost-benefit analysis, and would be recommendation between this to the city, and would be kind of go between the community's needs and the city hall.
When businesses come, especially big businesses come to a city, they want to see a city that's got their ducks together that they can work with. So I think that's a very big part of it. David's already spoke a little bit about the infrastructure. A lot of city council is about keeping the thing running: water, sewer, streets, sidewalks. And so we need to be about our business in a fiscally responsible way. It's that simple.
Our friends told us, wow, right on the border, you're going to get both the best worlds. Were they right? We fall through the cracks, and that's a matter of fact. So I think the city needs to take a lead. Of course, it's a package situation. We have to have a vibrant community with all the amenities.
Discussion moved towards public transportation for the city of Lloydminster.
As a student, we had a mandatory additional fee on top of our tuition that went to public transit and allowed us to have like a universal pass for the year. And that was, I think, a very effective program. So I think one of the things, if we were going to launch public transit in our community, we would really certainly want to do as much as we can to have a partnership with Lakeland College Student Association.
They did another study here in 22-23 that produced some very, very interesting results, because it came up with, I forget whether it was 3 or 4 options in terms of different routing at different times of day, looking at an operational model that was somewhat based on the needs, both in where people needed the transportation service and when they needed the service. The funding model that study considered involved external funding from the provinces, a certain amount of funding from the city, a certain amount of funding from the service users themselves.
Two candidates, Leo Aguinaldo and Corey McKee, were not present at the forum. The date for the by-election is February 13th. Callan Dunlop, Primetime, local news.
With the numbers of unhoused people rising across Canada, one local group held a conference to help people understand the aspects of housing. The Lloyd-X was host to the Lloydminster Housing Needs Assessment and Strategy Community Conference. Attendees were able to learn about issues ranging from home ownership to homelessness and the lack of housing. Manager of Social Programs and Services, Patrick Lancaster, was excited to share some of the takeaways.
Some of the learnings of the social needs assessment that's been taking place in our community over the last 7 months. Our consultant team, BASA Social Innovations, has some findings and some learnings that they've gathered from talking to folks in community and looking at some of the data, and we want to present that.
Lancaster also hopes that the conference can help people make a difference in their communities.
Community, again, across the housing spectrum, as well as some thoughts about some different solutions as to why or how some of these needs can be addressed.
The Lloydminster Rescue Squad held their first safety meeting of the year Monday night as they get set for another year of keeping the surrounding areas safe. Our Callum Hawker with more.
The Lloydminster Rescue Squad has been proudly serving the community since 1984, helping out with emergency services in and around the border city. And these meetings help them stay on track with what's most important.
Tonight is going to be setting the schedule, or just setting the goals for this year, this oncoming year. So we're looking forward to that. We have 2 brand new members that are going to be coming on. We get to vote them in tonight.
The rescue squad continues to help out with all types of incidents and always has the public's best interest when it comes to their safety, especially with the rising temperatures as of late.
At this time of the year, the big concern is just watch out for black ice. You know, when it gets cold and then the wind blows across, or warm, and then when the wind blows across, it freezes, and sometimes you don't see that black ice. You just got to drive with the according to the road conditions. So that's one thing. It's just, you know, it's always slow down and pay attention to the road conditions.
Namir and the rest of his team are always looking for extra members and volunteers and can easily apply at their office building. Callum Hawker, Primetime Local News.
RCMP have issued a warning surrounding a recent rash of ATM thefts in the Lakeland. We sat down with RCMP spokesperson Constable Kelsey Davidge about the thefts.
So I am joined today by Constable Kelsey Davidge with the Lloydminster RCMP, and we're talking about the recent thefts in several small communities involving ATMs and a significant amount of damage being caused to the places of business where they've happened. And you put out a warning, not necessarily you, but the RCMP, with regard to this last week. Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, so we've had between the dates of December 30th to January 4th, we've had multiple related, we believe, break-in enters occurrences across Eastern Alberta District, Central Alberta District, and in Saskatchewan. We do believe that these linked occurrences are committed by the same suspects. Locations included in Alberta are Lamont County, Mundare, Two Hills County, and Dewberry. These suspects were last seen within Saskatchewan in Paradise Hill. In that occurrence, they had on face masks and a firearm. So again, we're just sending that out to the public that if you do see these people, or if you're able to identify any of these suspects or that suspect vehicle, with the photos that we provided to the public, please call the detachment or your local detachment as soon as possible.
Now, Kelsey, is there any concern, I guess, at all for vigilantism or people taking things into their own hands when their business is being threatened? I know there's a warning in here not to approach the suspects.
Again, in that last occurrence, they did have a firearm and did use the firearm within relation to that occurrence. So we are warning people, just use caution, and they are believed to be armed and dangerous, and we are asking the public not to approach them and to just call police if they are seen or have their business being broken into.
Can you describe the suspect's vehicle that they've been driving?
Yeah, kind of in a unique vehicle we saw. It looks like a bigger white single cab pickup truck with a tow bed and integrated hitch in the rear. So that itself is kind of a unique vehicle and maybe would stand out. Again, if anyone is able to identify that vehicle or those people, we are asking that you reach out to your local detachment.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Kelsey, for joining me today, and hopefully they are caught soon.
Yes, thank you. Have a great day.
Abby St. John joins me now, and we're looking at the weather. And is the picture changing at all for us, or are we going to see more mild and...
I think for right now, we're going to be pretty mild. I think it's going to get a little bit colder next week. But for right now, we're sitting pretty mild. You know, we're dealing with the slush because things are melting. The snow and the ice that we've had accumulated over the last little while is starting to melt. But then overnight, it'll refreeze. So again, be cautious when you're walking. I'm definitely doing the shuffle move or the penguin, whichever one works for you, so you don't slip and fall. But we're at 6 degrees right now, and it was a very lovely day out today. Sun was out, it was blue skies, so it was a fairly nice day out, and it just feels like 3 degrees, so we're still above zero even with the wind chill, which is nice. A little bit of a wind, 19 kilometers per hour, but for the most part we saw a very nice day out today. Current temperatures across the region: 6 degrees also out in Provost, Wainwright, Vermilion, and Marwayne, 9 in Cold Lake, 10 in Bonnyville, 8 in St. Paul, 5 in Vegreville, and 11 out in Lac La Biche and in Edmonton. On the Saskatchewan side, 9 degrees up in Isle Cross, 8 in Pierceland, Green Lake, and in Meadow Lake, 5 in Maidstone, 7 in Macklin, and 6 in St. Walburg and in North Battleford. Overnight tonight in North Battleford will drop down to just -7, clear skies, no chance of precipitation, and 13-kilometer-per-hour winds. So it seems like it's going to be a very nice evening out tonight. And then tomorrow, a daytime high of +3, and that wind will remain fairly calm at 9 kilometers per hour, and it will be partially sunny, so there'll be a little mix of sun and cloud throughout the day. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake will drop down to -8. It will remain mainly clear. There will be a little patchy clouds here and there. Wind speeds will be quite strong at 17 kilometers per hour, so it's going to feel a little bit cooler than that -8. And then tomorrow the wind will slow down to 9 kilometers per hour. It will be a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day with a high of +3. Overnight tonight here in Lloydminster will drop down to -4, clear skies, but that wind speed will remain at 19 kilometers per hour. And then tomorrow, to break down the day, -3 around 6 a.m. Mainly clear, and then mostly sunny by noon. It will be +1, 11 kilometer per hour winds. At 6 p.m. it will drop just below 0 at -1, 19 kilometer per hour winds, and then around midnight it will be 0 with winds at 24 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be nice temperature-wise, but it will be quite windy. And then over the next 3 days, on Thursday, it will be breezy in the morning, but it should be a very sunny and bright day out with a high of +5 and a low of -4. And then on Friday, a mostly sunny day. There'll be a little bit of clouds with a high of 4 and a low of -4. So we're looking at the next few days being very sunny and quite mild, which is always nice to see. But then again, that snow will start melting and refreezing, so definitely be cautious when you're going out. That's a first look at your evening weather forecast. I'll have more overnight temperatures later on in the show.
Despite the cancellation of a few of their games, the Lloydminster Bobcats are still operating at full strength, and they have a full slate of events planned for the rest of 2024. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
Today I'm joined by Nigel Dubé, the GM of the Lloydminster Bobcats, and today we're going to talk about a few upcoming events for the Lloydminster Bobcats right away this weekend, as well as further on into the spring and summer. And so thank you so much for being with me today, Nigel.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Nigel, so let's start. I know there's a lot of stuff happening right now in the AJHL, but you guys have 2 great home games coming up this weekend. Just talk to me a little bit about those games and some of the things you guys are going to be having at those 2 home games this weekend.
Yeah, we're super excited. Both Friday and Saturday, we're going to host the Olds Grizzlies on Friday and the Canmore Eagles on Saturday. And our big goal this weekend here is to get 1,000 fans into the rink both nights, Friday and Saturday. So we got family pack on discount Friday night. Saturday ticket prices are dropped. We got Timbit hockey, which is always the fun part of every game when the future stars get out there and either eating snow or scoring goals, one of the two. So we're excited about the games on the weekend here at the Civic and just getting things going there and back at home, which has felt like a couple weeks, but we're excited to play in front of our home crowd again.
And then you guys have just recently released the info for the upcoming Prospects Camp, both for U18 and the younger kids as well. Talk to me about those camps and how important those are for bringing up the next generation of Bobcats here in Lloydminster.
Yeah, when you look at our current roster and the players that are on it, most all of them at some point have started at our Prospects Camp. It's a great opportunity for us to go through the recruiting stages and have a look at our prospects for next year, as well as future prospects down the road. Kate Fondle, Teague McAllister, some of the local ones, they all started at that, and that was a starting point for them, and we build affiliation relationships through that too as well. And then we have our Futures Camp, which we started last year for the first time ever, and it's at under 15 group, but more for them is just an understanding of our organization, how we operate, the facilities that we have, as well as our community. A big part, whether it's for the 18 showcase or the 15 showcase, we really want to showcase our community and what we have here. And it's a special, junior hockey community, and we want our prospects to see it.
And so with that, that's for the older kids, the U18 and the U15, but of course in the summer you guys also have the hockey school. Is there any info about that, or is it a little bit too early for that information right now?
No, hockey school is it's going August 12th. We start the first week, and I think the second week we're close to selling out on some of the age groups already, which is a record pace for us here. We're super excited about that. But both the 12th and the 19th, those will be our hockey schools from U7 up to U13, and then first time doing it again, we're going to bring in a full week of goaltending. That's with our goalie coach Sheldon Gertson on the 26th to the 29th, goalies only, which I think is really neat. You know, Sheldon's done a great job with goalies, with our goalies. You look at Kobe Thornton, AJHL Goalie of the Year. You know, we got the young Jack Solomon as an 18-year-old doing his thing this year. Matt Severson going down to Lindenwood, all the way. And Sheldon also works with the elite and minor hockey goalies. But a week of being able to work with all the goalies across town and the local areas around will be special too. So 3 weeks of hockey school, and August will be here before you know it, so we're excited about that.
And then finally, you guys have the ladies' night coming up. Of course, that's been sold out for quite a while, but any other major events like that where you guys have those community events and galas for members of the community to come out to? Of course, the Princess Dance that you guys had earlier this year was also, or earlier last year, was quite successful as well.
Yeah, it's one of us as an organization. We look at doing different things in our community that open doors for hockey fans and for general public of all. You know, so we had the dance, we have the ladies' night coming up. Tickets are on sale now for Flavor Festival May 4th. We'll have our golf tournament on June 14th, and then we're back to hockey school in August. So you can check all that out at our website. It's all on there, social medias, of course. But a lot of events going on 12 months of the year, and a lot of planning going into them 12 months of the year. But you know, we're excited about those, and excited to bring different things to the community and engage in all different kinds of groups too as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nigel, for all the information. There is definitely something for everybody that the Lloydminster Bobcats are giving to everybody right now. But be sure this weekend to come out to those 2 home games. They're going to be 2 excellent games of AJHL action.
Now it's time to take a look at all of the cute pet pictures that you've been sending in to us for our Pets of the Day.
We want to see your pet. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and today we have Charlie with the adorable elf ears. I think he's absolutely so precious, but he is extremely hyper.
Yes.
This is not really telling of his personality, but he is very hyper. So let's start with how he came to be here at the shelter and a bit about his crazy personality.
So Charlie came to us as a stray from within the city of Loy. He has been with us since about the end of December, and definitely a high energy guy, likes to play, loves his toys, and likes playing tug. Definitely ball motivated as well, was pumped when he found a tennis ball in here earlier. And he was already hanging out outside in the outdoor kennels because it's nice enough out that they're able to enjoy some outdoor time. So that's part of why he's so tired right now, which is nice. But we've been doing some obedience cues. He's practicing staying on the raised bed, getting good at his sitting instead of jumping up. We're recommending him to a home with maybe another dog that can kind of play with him and get some energy out. He really enjoys Squirt, who is a little female puppy that's next to him outside. So it'd be great for him to have another playmate. And we always encourage people to come do a meet and greet at the shelter with their dogs before adopting. And I'm going to recommend older or no kids, just because he can be a bit mouthy, not aggressively, but just like when he's being goofy and wants to play with toy ropes and things like that. So some older dog savvy kids would be a must. But really great dog if you are a bit experienced and can continue working on his obedience. He's going to be an excellent like running or hiking partner. And when he's tired like this, he'd probably make an excellent cuddler as well.
So really a home that's quite active. You have owners that, you know, regularly, you know, would go on runs or hikes, like you said, with him, just to expel that energy daily.
And he would love to, I'm sure he'd be good at dog sports. He would love to play fetch. You could even do it with a long line outside while he works on his recall. But a very loving dog and handsome, as you can see, and just looking for a home to call his own.
And has he been tested with cats? I don't think we.
He hasn't, but he doesn't seem to fixate on them. But with his high energy, I do think he would chase them if given the chance. So maybe just like slow introductions, and I would recommend calm cats that aren't going to be running around and encouraging him to chase them.
At least cats have the ability to jump up onto high places for sure. Now you have an adoption sale going on currently, and it's almost over.
Yes.
Tell me about those details and what people should know about them.
Yeah, so we currently have a 50% off the adoption fee going on for both cats and dogs. So that ends tomorrow at the end of the day. So we're open 12 to 6 today and tomorrow. So if you are interested in adopting, this is a really great time to do so and come in and meet the animals. And at the end of the week, our kennels are coming in. So that's kind of one of the reasons we were trying to promote the adoptions a little more, is get them some homes before things start getting kind of rearranged here and we start setting up the new ones.
And going off of the new kennels coming in, you are looking for volunteers possibly. So, and when you do bring them in, you're going to be close to the general public. So tell me all those details, and if people want to volunteer, how can they get in contact?
Yeah, so we are going to be close to the public mainly just because it's going to be such a mess in here with things getting moved around and kennels being shifted and animals being kind of misplaced. So we're asking that people email us at the info@borderpaws.ca email. So it's just our main general email. And just to set up an appointment if you do wish to come in and volunteer, because it's going to be very hectic in here, but we are hoping to get at least a couple dog walkers for the dogs that are here so that they're getting regular exercise. And luckily it looks like the weather's going to cooperate, so they should be able to get lots of outdoor time too.
Yes, which is awesome and a lot of good news for the dogs especially. I'm sure the outdoor area is very much loved by them.
And definitely making an appointment before you come or calling ahead. We will be answering phones during our regular hours of 12 to 6. So yeah, just call or email before coming down to make sure that we have something for you to do and space for you to help walk the dogs or something like that.
Now finally, is there any donations that you're in need of currently?
We're in pretty good shape right now. The community stepped up last week when I asked for paper towels, so we are stocked on that now. And really we're pretty stocked on everything, so I think we're in good shape right now. I can't really think of anything that we're in need of. So yeah, thank you very much.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me as always. And Charlie, you know, he didn't show much of his energy, but he did show all of his handsomeness and cuteness. So I think that's a win in his favor.
Yes. So if he gets a family that will exercise him regularly, he's going to be much more manageable than, you know, when he's at the shelter environment and not getting as much exercise on a regular basis.
Yes, he's definitely going to make the best companion for sure.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I am here today with Jacqueline Wee, the Director of Service Delivery of Big Brother, Big Sister of Lloydminster, talking us about the upcoming February 9th event called National Pizza Day. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
So this event called National Pizza Day, can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, this is an annual event that we hold in Lloydminster. It's a fundraising event for us. And so on February 9th, we have some restaurants partnering with us, and each of those restaurants will donate $1 from every pizza sold to Big Brothers Big Sisters to support our mentoring programs.
So is the fund going to just a mentoring program, or is it going to other programs as well?
Yeah, it supports any of the mentoring programs that we have. So that would be things like creating new matches, supporting the matches that we have. Those sorts of things is what it supports.
So this event, can you tell us how did it started, or what inspires the organization to do this type of event?
We raise over almost half of our budget ourselves in the community doing events. And so we're always looking for things that other groups aren't doing that will help us to fulfill that fundraising requirement. And who doesn't like pizza? So National Pizza Day is always on February 9th. So we started out with just a couple restaurants, and it has grown every year. And everyone is just, they're so great to support it. And then people get to pick their favorite restaurant or try a new one and have pizza.
Now, Lloydminster is well known for community work and community help. So how do people can do to help or participate to the event?
So on February 9th, they can stop by one of the restaurants, and I'll list them in a minute, and order pizza. So you can have pizza for lunch, you could have pizza for supper. If you're wanting a big order, I would say, phone in the day ahead and just tell them, if you're doing a staff lunch or something like that, or if the schools are wanting to order and support it. $1 from every pizza, no matter what size, goes to Big Brothers Big Sisters. So the restaurants that are taking part is Spiro's, Red Swan, TJ's Pizza, Burns Pizza, Domino's, Little Caesars, Extreme Donair Pizza, Boston Pizza, Pizza 73, Panago Pizza, Cheers Restaurant and Lounge, and Papa John's. So lots of variety for people.
Well, thank you so much, Jacqueline, for giving us the information about the National Pizza Day event. Hopefully, there's going to be a lot of people buying pizzas on February 9th. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Well, with France hosting the Olympics this summer, there's a lot of pressure for the food to be top-notch. A team of about 300 cooks is busy getting ready for the job of feeding 15,000 athletes. The challenge will be to provide healthy, delicious meals to people used to cuisine from around the world. Of course, there will be some famous French treats featured. Athletes will be able to visit a bakery where they can bake their own baguettes. About 40,000 meals will be served during the Olympic and Paralympic Games.
That actually looks really good.
It does.
So I'm very jealous of the athletes who get to eat that, and it makes me wish that I became an athlete.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch the Olympics, but that food looks really good.
It does.
I would, if they had a segment on that, I would watch that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's all we have for you this evening. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good night.